All quick starts have three main goals: get medical supplies, get food supplies, head north. Anything picked up along the way, from guns to tools, are simply bonuses. Do not rely on the large cities for your tools or weapons. The first thing to do when starting any new character is to take note of your location in the lower right hand side of the screen. This is typically missed as it goes away quickly. Once you know the name of your location, open the link in the description below and find yourself on the map. In this particular case, I have spawned in the water at Otmil, with an island to my side and a small town a little ways out. With these two landmarks, I can conclude that I am here. Before heading into Elektro, I decide to check this industrial location noted as medium value gear. An industrial location is typically not part of the quick start goals, but its location was close and in it I found a toolbox. I ignore Kamishovo, which is the small town off to the side, as it is too small to be worthwhile compared to the number of zombies that will spawn, and since there are less enterable buildings to hide in. Running into Elektro, I am not going to worry about zombies. They are slow, stupid, and are now easy to lose. What you do want to worry about is finding dead zombies or players. This means somebody might be close by, and players are the bigger worry, not zombies. I run up to the first industrial building and go through the doors. If I had no Zeds on me, I might have bothered to check the second floor, but my attempt to quickly lose the Zeds failed. A little ways into Elektro, I note the first residential building that I will enter. Using the steep hill behind the house, I lose the zombies. As noted in the losing zombie video, stay low as they will come looking for you. As I head down the hill, I note the enterable buildings and shacks along the way to the hospital, which will be our first real stop. The red brick building will be the house in which we lose the first zombie horde acquired. In the house, we already find good gear. Note that all gear found is truly luck. Half the time, you will only find cans. The second loot pile also has some useful items. I head across the road to the shack and find nothing. Heading behind the house, I head over to another shack which can have gear. In this shack, we only find cans. Cans are useful though, as we can distract a zombie or shock a player, or more importantly, get into the hospital. I was about to head over to the red brick building, but noticed another shack and ran over to it. And what do we find? Nothing. Now we begin to run. Since we are going to lose the zombies in the red brick building, there is no point in wasting time attempting to be stealthy with them. Again, the worry is other players, not the zombies. While the zombies are catching up, I check the first pile of gear. Before I can get a great look, I start getting hit through the wall. I note the useless primary ammo in the other gear pile and run out of the building, trying to lose the zombies. I say useless, as a gun for that particular ammo would be hard to find. Other than secondary ammo types, we only pick up slugs and Lee Enfield mags, as these guns are more common. I round the house, though my attempt to be sneaky failed. The house has canned food, so I decided it was worthwhile to try for the gear again. I grab the canned food, double checking that I grabbed the compass, then head over into the next room and grab a Lee Enfield. I hightail it out of there, and a quick look tells me the zombies lost interest in me. The next stop is the hospital. Medical supplies are a requirement. Nothing is worse in the game than being up north without morphine for your broken bone. Using the cans picked up earlier, I break in. In the hospital, do not check the boxes out in the open just yet. Head to the middle of the hall and find the gear pile or box behind the wall. You will lose any zombies that were on you this way, as well as stay hidden from other players. If there is no medical box behind the wall, only then do you check a box. You will want to fill your inventory with the following: 2 blood bags, 3 morphines, 2 painkillers. If there are antibiotics, grab 1 pack, otherwise max out your bandages. Heading out of the hospital, I decide to run again. I am not too worried about zombies, as my next stop is the church. The church has plenty of room to get around zombies if needed, but I meet my first challenge: wired fence. I run out, but remember that I have a toolbox and can take down the fence. I hear Zed closing in though, and make a run for it. Normally, I would run straight to the supermarket at this point, but a fence might mean that no other players have recently made it to the church, so there might be good gear inside. So I run to the firehouse instead to try to lose the zombies. Someone has really fenced up Elektro, so I have to make a run for it again, but I am able to lose the zombies again and head back to the church. I can hear zombies this time, and as taking down wired fences might take some time, I crawl. The church yields some food, but not much else, and since my main primary weapon is the Enfield, I ignore the slugs. Running out of the church, I am not too worried about zombies again, as our next stop, the supermarket, will slow them down. I'm extremely frustrated with the wired fences at this point. They are not impossible to get around, but they are annoying. A big breakthrough is finding a water canteen. If and when I find a hatchet and matches to go along with my knife, I can essentially live up north carefree on meat and refillable water. I double check the gear around the store and find a Makarov along with some other gear. From here, I would normally recommend that you head north. If you feel like gambling though, there are 2 more buildings you can hit up before heading north. I cross the street to the local apartment building. Note that I refuse to enter the 2nd floor. If there is someone here, I will be hard-pressed to get out. Inside, I find a revolver and M1911. I grab any other gear and food I can find, then head out. Since a fire station is along the way, I double-check it as well. Again, this is not a recommended building, as it is frequently checked by other players and it is a highly exposed area. I find nothing of use, both risking my life and wasting time and energy. This concludes the Quick Start Elektro guide. Disregarding the amount of time it took me to get to Elektro, the amount of time I spent in Elektro was 21 minutes. In that time, I picked up binoculars, a watch, knife, compass, entrenching tool, and map for my tool belt. Also, I picked up a M1911 and a Lee Enfield, and medical and food supplies. Other than the M1911, most of the gear was found in the places I didn't gamble with. I could have easily searched more buildings, but the main goals here are to get supplies and head north, not to find weapons. Once you head up north, take it slow, crawl around zombies, and you will find your guns in the less populated areas.